Hello, everyone. I am Senem Bilir. I am an assistant professor in Construction Management Division of Istanbul Civil Engineering Department at Istanbul Technical University. Today, I will present you our conference paper, which are relative importance of productivity factors in construction industry and investigation of productivity in the construction industry. Let's begin. I would like to start with the introduction. The construction industry has a significant role for developing the economy. It has mutual and causal relationships between the industry and gross domestic product, of course, especially in Turkey. Contingencies that exist in the construction industry make this sector risky in terms of project management because the outer parameters affect the project management as much as the inner parameters. Construction, as you may already know, is a labor intensive industry, and efficiency of the construction project mostly depends on the productivity of the employees. Therefore, productivity of the labor in the construction industry has become one of the most researched topics last decades. There has been a quite extensive amount of studies related to the labor productivity in the construction industry. However, no research could be found directly focused on the productivity of technical personnel. These papers are designed to fulfill the gap in the literature, addressing the factors that specify the productivity of the construction industries, construction industry professionals, not only in Turkey, but also any developing countries. And productivity of technical staff like architects or site engineers has not been investigated yet. In this research, the factors affecting productivity of the construction technical personnel is investigated based on an extensive literature review. While defining the productivity factors, 10 experienced engineers were asked about the impact of dynamics, which are collected from the literature, and finally 60 productivity factors were determined. To gather the required data, a structured, close-ended questionnaire was designed. The target population of the questionnaire was the Turkish technical personnel, and the only criterion for the respondents was the work in construction industry. The questionnaire was distributed to almost 500 industry professionals via an online form, and 400 of them were used to analysis in this research. The Likert type of scale was used for ranking the factors affecting the technical personnel in the construction industry. The questions were designed to be 6 Likert scale and were gradually rated from 0 to 5, as 0 equals to none and 5 means very good. Because of the length limit, only 5 factors for each group were given in table 1. As you can see, there is 4 main factor groups, which are human factors, management factor group, external factors group, and working conditions factors group. The relative important index ranks within the corresponding groups and overall ranks for the 60 factor studies on the productivity of construction technical personnel in Turkey. Was determined, discussed, and compared with previous literature outcomes. The whole factors are grouped under 4 major categories as follows: 15 in human factors category, 25 in management factors category, 10 in external factors category, and 10 is on the working conditions factor category. For the trustworthiness of the collected data, 3 different kinds of reliability tests, which are Kaiser-Meyer-Olkin measure of sampling adequacy, Bartlett's test of sphericity, and Cronbach's alpha has been conducted. As it is explained in the slide, subsections, all of the 3 reliability tests result with satisfying outcomes, which prove the dependability of the dataset. For example, in KMO sampling adequacy test, KMO score of the dataset was in a marvelous category with the score of 0.911. KMO score of the dataset was not only acceptable, but also in the best possible category for these analyses. Bartlett's test of sphericity, the significance level of the dataset is 0, which shows us that the dataset is meaningful, and approximate chi-square value was found 8,142, and the DF value was calculated as 946. And Cronbach's alpha value, which shows the internal consistency level of the dataset, is 0.948. This value shows that by being over of 0.9, our data set is excellent with regards to internal consistency. The Cronbach alpha measured for each 60 factors. However, as a result of the reliability test, it has been observed that personal gender factor is not meaningful for the dataset. Personal's gender factor has quite low corrected item to total correction value. It was about 0.027. Then the personal's gender factor was not included in the similar previous studies in the construction industry, so it was removed from the determined factors before conducting factor analysis. As you may already know, Relative Importance Index, RII, is a tool to rank the factors in accordance with the answers given by the respondents who attend the questionnaire survey. Obtained data was analyzed with Relative Importance Index. In this research, to calculate the relative importance of the factors, the formula given in equation 1 was used in this study. Relative Importance Index was calculated via MS Excel. Now we can talk about the results. Factors have a relative importance index score over 8% with the mean of over 4, which states that participants rank them between high to very high. 17 factors have RII score over 80% with the mean over 4, could be considered as the most important factors affecting the productivity of technical personnel in the construction sites. Among these 17 factors, there are 7 management, 6 human, and 4 working condition related factors, as you can see from the table. A personal motivation factor ranked in the first place with the mean of 4.33. As it can be presumed, motivation is very important and driving factor. Technical personnel can be motivated by adding motivational factors such as interest in work, responsibility in tasks, alignment to higher level tasks, personal growth and reward. For instance, on-time salary payment or bonus payments or good relationship with the supervisors can be evaluated as motivational factors in Turkey. Furthermore, hygiene factors, which are usual practices in the developed countries, can be considered as motivational factors in developing countries like Turkey. The following 4 critical factors that affect the productivity of the technical personnel are inadequate supervision, inadequate communication, disrespectful treatment, the mobbing, and salary and benefit respectively. On the other hand, 8 factors have RII score under 60% with the mean less than 3, which assume that have low effect on productivity of technical personnel. Among these 8 factors, there are 3 human, 2 management, 2 external, and 1 factor related with working conditions. Lastly, personal's gender, personal's marital status, union rules and influences, parking facilities, and personal's age appeared to be the least important factors respectively. When the average mean of the factors in each category is calculated, the most important factor group appeared to be management factors with a mean of 3.77. Management factors are followed by working conditions with a mean of 3.68. Next, human factors are calculated as the third category with a mean of 3.64, which is very close to the mean of the second category. And according to this study, the fourth category that has the lowest mean value of 3.21 is the external factors category. According to the results of this study, it can be said that the management factors explain the most of the factors that affects the productivity of the technical personnel in the construction industry for Turkey. Unrealistic schedule, lack of procedures, lack of cooperation between departments, interruption and disruption, discontinuity in crew, out of sequence work, necessity to redo work, and inadequate communication are the most important topics that managerial team should consider and improve in the construction firm. As a result of all analyses, it is identified that the most important factors that affects the productivity of the technical personnel underlies the management factors. Many thanks for listening. Now, I would like to continue with the second conference papers presentation, because the second study is the continuation of the first one, which was the relative importance of the productivity factors in construction industry. Now, I would like to remind you factor analysis with a basic definition first. Factor analysis is a statistical technique that is used to determine the scope to which a group of measures share common variance. It can be considered as a data reduction method for the application to remove a few primary factors from a large preliminary set of observed variables. In this research, factor analysis is conducted in order to find out the relations between the factors and how to define them in fewer factors. As an outcome of the factor analysis, two goals are expected to be achieved. The first one is decreasing the number of factors that represents the data set, and the second one is creating a new structure or classification by considering the relationship between the factors. In this study, 60 factors were identified for the research that affect productivity by the literature review and face-to-face meetings with the experts. However, personal gender factor is excluded from the factor analysis because corrected item to total correction value for this factor is too low with respect to the other factors. Using 59 productivity factors, factor analysis was conducted. After the first run, rotated component matrix was examined, and as a result of the first analysis, the 59 factors could be represented by 13 components. After evaluating the results, 14 factors were excluded from the analysis. 10 out of 14 were removed due to the having absolute value less than 0.45. In the second run, 45 factors were analyzed, and as a result of this analysis, 9 components was observed to represent 45 factors. As a result of third run of the factor analysis, only 9 main factors are extracted with the combination of the relevant variables, which will explain the more than 60% of the total variance. In this regard, it can be stated that conducted factor analysis is acceptable. Now I can give you the results. The first main factor has 28.23% of the total variance of the productivity factors. This factor is representing 8 components or subfactors, which are the unrealistic schedule, lack of procedures, lack of the cooperation between departments, interruption and disruption, discontinuity in crew, out of the sequence work, necessity to redo work, and inadequate communication. Due to covering all sub-factors that are directly related to management decision and behavior, this category called as management factors category. Since this factor represents almost half of the total explained variance, it is considered that this factor group, the first main factor group, is the most important group. The second main factor includes 7% of the total variance of the explained productivity factors. There are 7 sub-factors in this category, which are namely changes in the drawing and specifications, changes in contract, nature of the project, size and complexity. The other one is weather conditions and climate. The other one, methods of construction, owner's representative intervention, and congested construction area. Since these sub-factors are specific to the project and cannot be controllable by the management, it is called as external and owner-related factors. The third main factor covers the 5.31% of the total variance. There are 7 sub-factors again in this category, which are loyalty to the job, perceptions or misperception, personal motivation, loyalty to the company, team spirit of the crew, personal experience and skills, personal attitude and moral. Since all these sub-factors are related to motivation of the employee, this factor is called as motivational factor. Main factor, the fourth main factor, accounts the 4.49% of the total variance. This factor consists of five sub-factors that are namely lack of recognition program, salary and benefits, composition of teams, end of the project effect, and lack of personal training and education. Since all sub-factors have a monetary effect, this factor is called financial factor. The fifth main factor has 3.56% of the total variance explained. These factors have again 5 sub-factors, and namely excessive shift lengths, unsafe working conditions, unpaid overtime, demand of over-quality work, and overcrowded work areas. Since all these sub-factors are specific to the workplace, this factor is called as a working condition factor. The sixth main factor explains 3.43% of the total variance. The 5 sub-factors of the sixth group are noise, dust and radiation, parking facilities, ventilation systems, cleanliness of working space, and transportation to work. All sub-factors are related to working comfort of the technical personnel. Therefore, we called this sub-factor group as a welfare and comfort factor. The seventh main factor covers the 3.01% of the total explained variance. It has three sub-factors that are non-availability of equipment, non-availability of materials and software, and non-availability of information. All of these sub-factors are related with the availability of resources. According to this factor is called lacking resource factors. The eighth main factor accounts to 0.81% of the total variance explained. The two sub-factors under this category are personal marital status and personal age. Since these two factors are personal specification of the employee, this is called as personal factor group. And lastly, the ninth main factor is covering 2.48% of the total variance explained. I'm very sorry. The sub-factors under these factors are lack of workload and excessive workload. Due to having two sub-factors related to the workload, this factor group is called as workload factors. The research has been conducted to identify and rank the factors affecting the productivity of technical personnel in construction industry by factor analysis. Based on the conducted factor analysis, statistically, more than 60% of the 59 factors could be represented by the identified 9 main factors. When the identified 9 factors were listed, management factors represents 28.23% of the factors, which is also equal to 47% of the total variance explained. In other words, the management factors covers 47% of the factors, which were statistically put into factor analysis. Hence, in order to improve technical personnel's productivity, industry professionals shall place emphasis to management factors. It is recommended that the construction industry needs to focus on training future managers that will have direct impact on the factors affecting the productivity. The owners and upper management of the companies should delegate the financial power to the manager in parallel with the responsibility they delegate. Otherwise, even if the managers identify the factors affecting the productivity of their technical personnel, they still might not have enough financial ability to eliminate or minimize these factors. Additionally, the results could not provide any information about individual factors influencing productivity, and these findings is also important to change the focus from the individual to the environment. Many thanks for listening. Here you can see our references. Thank you very much.